Bros Play! Do you know why people didn't like the 9th episode of Star Wars?
No.
I don't either. But I remember when it came out, people had a problem with it. And I just watched it, and it's a really good movie, and I highly recommend it.
To be honest, I didn't even know there was 9. I thought there was 8 still.
Yeah, it's the Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, okay, maybe I have heard of that one. Okay, so there's 9 now. Jeez. So, is that supposed to be the end of that trilogy? Like, are they doing it the same way?
I do not know. But I think that they really cocked up Episode 8, but Episode 9 is fucking great. It's got everything you need in a Star Wars movie. It's got an overconfident bad guy. It's got a character who has inner conflict and doesn't know which side of the Force they want to be on. It's got different colored lightsabers fighting each other.
Well, that's one of the hallmarks of a Star Wars movie is lightsabers.
With this movie, we really wanted to just kind of zero in on the whole different colored lightsabers.
Woo! That was almost impressive.
I got a little. I'm actually just blown away by how much better the 16-bit looks to the 8. Like,
I think it's awesome.
It's incredible. Like, look at the animation on that little worm.
I was just looking at his teeth. Yeah. He's so menacing.
And then, like,
you were playing the wrong game, weren't you?
Look at the.
You just jumped on his head.
Look at the swing. Like, there's so much. Oh my god. I feel like Leonardo from the Ninja Turtle game we played in an arcade, a legitimate arcade when I was a kid.
In a legitimate arcade.
And it had the big. Well, it wasn't an arcade actually. It was probably a pizza shop, but. Back then, they actually had arcades in buildings, and you played games standing up.
At first, I was like, that's right. The consoles did stand up, but then I realized you were talking about the person would be standing up. I was on a conference call with my boss the other week, and I think we were waiting on a client to come in, and I noticed he had an arcade console behind him. And I was like, oh man, what's that? And he's like, oh, I just moved, so it's in the kitchen right now. He had a Galaga console.
Good for him.
Which was awesome because all of a sudden, all the older guys in the conversations were all like just geeking out about Galaga. And us 20-year-old guys, one of them was like, what's Galaga?
Oh, jeez. What's interesting, though, is that you and I seem to know a lot more about stuff that we weren't around for than the average person. I don't know why.
Old movies and games.
Yeah.
Part of that, I think, actually was from our dad, because he showed us a lot of old movies that we would not have been exposed to.
True.
Right?
Naked Gun.
Oh, those
was
are
like
so
1985 or something.
That's a really nice beaver.
Yeah, and that joke is so much, it's so much more inappropriate at the time.
Oh yeah,
Incredible.
Absolutely.
And they were making jokes like I didn't understand I didn't make what's his name? Fuck.
OJ?
No.
Oh,
What? Oh yeah, I guess there's also OJs in that movie, but what happened to that rock? Did you see that just bounce off the air?
Yeah.
I think jeez, Rock Man, we're dead now.
We're dead. I don't think the Rockman cares.
Gorbachev. I wouldn't have understood a reference to world leaders and
at the time. Yeah.
But like it was when I watched it recently with Dad, it was so fucking funny, the Gorbachev moment when he he wipes down the guy's head because he's got a very famous birthmark.
Right.
And it comes off, and Leslie Nielsen's like, I knew it.
You know what? Now I totally remember that scene. I was wondering what you were talking about. Oh man, those movies were real. Like, you remember the I forget the opening to one of them where they've got the chalk outlines, and all the chalk outlines are just mangled, like people in pieces. One guy's got a chalk outline on the door.
And there's stick figures in one of them.
Oh man, there was just such raw comedy in that movie, and I guess that era in general, there was a lot of raw comedy.
Fuck's sakes.
You're just a lava bro.
I'm a lava bro?
Yeah, you just like taking lava bombs.
You know what? I'll take that. I appreciate it. I like that. I'm a lava bro.
Yeah, dude. You take it.
Oh, he's shooting them out of his
back.
Out of his back.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think that's why we have a lot of the older movies in our repertoire. And as far as older games, I think it's just because we really like games.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, especially when we were young. Like, when we were young, we also had no money for new games more often than not, so there was a lot of old games to be played.
I think that's actually a big thing, yeah. I think that the lack of fuck. The lack of funds when we were kids led to us being really into old stuff because it had to be old enough to be on TV, or for it to be like a super cheap game or something.
Right, and there was a lot of that where you go to rent a game and it's $20 to rent a new game, but it's like $5 to rent one of these crappy old games or one of these.
$20, Jesus.
What's that?
Where was it $20?
I'm definitely exaggerating. Actually, no, maybe I'm not. Wasn't it $20 to rent a Blockbuster, like a new game?
Maybe for like 7 days or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for a week. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because we went to a mom and pop shop that was so much cheaper, like incredible. It was like $3 for a day or something.
Oh yeah, we pretty much only went to Blockbuster when it was like no other option, right?
Yeah.
Like when the game wasn't available elsewhere.
Yeah.
Another reason why Blockbuster is it never made it.
This is not easy.
Yeah, those heads are way harder than the lanterns. Go, brother. Go, brother.
No.
Go. Oh,
No,
no.
I made a bad decision.
Ah, you made a bad call.
So I got a problem with my thumb. The spot that naturally hits the button. I just did it there. So if I put my thumb where they want me to and I jump like this, it's fine. But then it's hard for me to switch over to the square. So I keep my thumb in a spot where I can hit both back and forth like this with.
Right, so you're using the joint of your thumb rather than the tip
Yeah.
to actually push the button.
But in my ripe old age of 28, it's starting to hurt.
Bro,
Yeah.
that you gotta watch out for that one. You need to be doing thumb stretches.
You know what? The sound that guy makes is the sound I want to make when I hurt my thumbs.
Oh man, I don't think you can blame your thumb though. I think a man must stand on his laurels.
Thumbs.
Just
I'm not a
don't-
thumb man.
Not a thumb man.
Just don't blame the thumbs. It's like a Bon Jovi song or something. How am I jumping so high? Holy fuck! No!
Oh no, those aren't gonna come back, are they?
Just don't blame the thumb man.
You remember you remember Spy Kids, right?
Of course I remember Spy Kids.
So you remember the thumbs?
Oh, jeez, yeah.
They were thumb-headed thumb creatures.
Yeah.
So they had 5 thumbs in total.
Big dumb thumbs.
Big dumb thumbs. Wow.
Well, and that was I remembered that when I was watching Happy, because there's this guy who I forget what they're called. He's got some sort of these fucked up creatures that look just like it. But the visuals are actually well done in this case.
Yeah, rather than being really cheap CGI. The one of my favorite insults, like I've heard many bald people compared to being like, oh, his head looks like a thumb. I've heard that expression a lot.
This is rude.
It is rude. It's very rude. But just because something's rude doesn't mean it's not funny.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, the rudest things are the funniest things.
Often. Very, very often. And that's one of the reasons I love Ricky Gervais so much. Because unlike a lot of other comedians who their rudeness comes out very aggressive and it's sort of like shock style humor, Ricky Gervais will say some of the most awful things in the most polite way possible.
Totally.
It just has such a great, I guess, surprise factor to it. His Oscars speech, the last one he ever did, you heard it, right?
Was it the one that he didn't get invited back for?
Yeah.
It
was
I haven't
so-
actually heard, like, I don't really remember anything about it, but...
Oh, it was so beautiful. More than one time during it, he said, whatever, I'm not coming back anyways. He said things that you really can't say and be friends with those people again, but it was the things that everybody's been thinking for, decades.
Yeah.
And I think that it was actually maybe a good thing for Hollywood. It was one of their first indications that, hey, maybe our BS isn't going to last forever. Maybe people are eventually going to say,
Yeah,
good.
I forget who said it, but they were doing this... What the fuck?
Oh, that was rough. GeoDude kicked your ass.
He did. He's like the GeoDude DJ.
DJ Dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Dude. Someone was doing a speech at I do not understand what they want from me when I do that. Like, I have to jump and then hit it and then jump again? Is that what that's just fucking weird, man. It's like...
so if you hit something straight, can you still jump again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's like, what I want to do is glide while I'm doing it, but I can't attack up like that. It's only it down.
It's actually amazing the nimbleness of this guy.
It's fun just to move around and do, like, crazy flips and shit.
I mean, it's very disorienting, but it does look fun.
I did that on purpose. I needed to reset. Anyway, a guy was doing a speech at an EB... I almost called it an EB Games Award.
E3?
Yeah, E3, yeah. Electronics Expo. What is it?
Oh, it's 3 E's, right?
Entertainment Electronics Expo?
Electronic Entertainment Expo, probably, yeah.
And he said, no one smells bullshit like this particular community.
Wow. That's a great expression, because that's so true.
Have you seen the reveal of the Blizzard mobile game?
You mean Diablo Immortal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you guys have phones? That's what he said. It was such a poor response that they had no idea what to do. They were expecting people to just be like in huge applause. Oh my fucking god, Ninja Man.
That's a fundamental misunderstanding of your crowd.
No, Ninja Man!
It's all panic. Because you're doing perfectly fine up until that scene, and then it's just panic.
It's so hard. It hurts my thumb joints.
The game is difficult. What should I do?
Half of the time, the first lantern gives me a gourd every other time. It's very fucking frustrating.
Yeah.
Like, no gourd.
Yeah,
Fuck
well,
you.
Gord and Jeebus don't always travel
there's
together.
the gourd. Fuck you again.
And these guys do give you 1 health each, it seems.
Okay.
Maybe not that time, but yeah, these guys seem to be giving you a health.
Okay. All right.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof. I've always found that big companies will inevitably insult their consumers. It's almost like a rule of life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it comes from a fundamental, what do you call it? Underestimation of how intelligent people are. Because as a population, we're very stupid.
Yeah.
But as an individual, a lot of us are able to see when you're full of shit.
Yep.
And I think people have just gotten better at that over the years, especially with video games. You're right. Movies, people are willing to swallow a lot more than they are with video games.
Yep. This is uncharted territory.
Just don't panic. Just whatever you do, don't panic.
Bart, you want to see my chainsaw hockey mask?
I missed that show.
Yeah, I think the people who make it miss it too. Bum.
Burn.
Wow.
I was actually just thinking about a Simpsons reference recently, but actually no, maybe it was a Family Guy reference. Some of those early 2000s shows just had, low-hanging fruit, or at least it wasn't low-hanging at the time, but like those jokes can never be made again in some ways because they were already done. Wah, 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 wah. Glad you got that big old stack of crystals.
I gotta get this gourd. Nope, no gourd.
Good.
Is this a gourd? No gourd. Gourd or no gourd?
It's such a weird term, gourd, just because I don't know. It's just, to me, I can only think of the name.
The person?
Yeah, the person Gord. I can never think of... There's no U in Gord as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, but the way that people spell shit nowadays, it's like, whatever. It could be. It could be.
Yeah, no. It's, everything here... Man, this is stressful.
Oh, I see.
Gotcha, Gord.
Hey, I got a gourd. Whoa! What?
Something that I've noticed has become really common these days is it becoming more and more difficult to figure out whether you're talking to a man or a woman based off their name, because there's so many more names that are just non-English, and you go, well, shit, I can maybe try to pronounce that, but I have no context as to whether this is supposed to be man or a woman, and I hate asking that question. Hi, are you a man or a woman? Isn't that awkward?
Well, I think I would just take a page from the Oh, hello. You could just do the thing the bots in Fallout 3 do. Hello, sir or madam.
What was it? Greetings, unknown variable.
Yeah.
It's just how I should
Fuck.
address everybody.
I absolutely love that scene where the ship, her ship breaks,
Just
and
blows up.
She's just like, ah! This guy's fun. He's just like me.
I actually had this one.
Whoa! He's teleporting to his dagger. Look at that.
Oh, look at that! He's got magical daggers.
He magical daggers.
This is just a beat up scene. Beat him up. We had this one client whose last name was Travis, but she was a girl, and my boss somehow missed that, and so we called her Travis for like multiple emails in a row. And yeah, that's just, it's one thing when someone calls you, ma'am when you're or Mrs. when you're actually a miss or whatever, but when someone just calls you by your last name as if it's your first name, that's tough. I used to do that in sports a lot. Even in school, I did that a lot. Where you just refer to somebody by their last name?
Well, some people don't think that it's... Some people don't... My fucking joint! Some people don't think it's rude to make fun of your last name. It's happened to me a couple times.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I actually get the opposite. Yeah, because our last name is like semi-famous around here, and so people are always like, "Oh, do you know the other ones?" And I'm like, "No."
No one's ever asked me that question.
I think it's just the industry I'm in. I think that's where our name is a little more famous, and people are always like, "Oh, do you know these people?" And I'm like, "No, I'm from the poor side of the family."
Oh, okay.
We're not the big business ones, unfortunately.
For those who don't know, our last name is Bros Play.
Yes,
Yeah.
and there's some big Bros Play money out there, just not in our
It's
pockets.
everywhere, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
But people really like just make fun of your last name like they're 5 years old.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Although I actually work with a lot of 5-year-olds, so...
And I did actually know that, so maybe I should not be as surprised as I currently am. Bro.
I should say 5-year-olds... they're not actually 5-year-olds.
Well, somewhere in their brain.
I'm not in early education.
Yeah, you're not an early childhood educator?
No.
An ECA?
No.
This demon dude, haven't we fought him before?
Maybe.
I have this strange feeling we've fought a guy who looks just like him.
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's a refight of all the bosses.
Oh.
Because this is a different time period.
What?
Yeah.
So you teleported to another time?
No, you went forward in time, which is why everything was 16-bit.
Oh, I see. And so all the enemies you defeated are revived?
Well, you didn't kill any of them.
Oh, that's right. We're a pussy.
Yeah.
I was wondering if that's why he has the eye patch.
Ninja push.
Did we give that to him last
Maybe.
time?
I just can't remember this.
Yeah, so you gotta hit one and then the other and then one and then the other, and if you can hit him... Oh, actually, that was pretty sweet.
I'm like a Spitfire flying at people. That's really cool when you see it in slow motion.
I do actually love that noise, that... It just sucks all the fun out of you.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Demon Man. Mr. One-Eyed Demon Man. This is not going well.
I feel like I left that conversation half...
Yeah, people making fun of your last names?
Yeah. I work with adults who act like children. That is the joke. Ha 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 ha.
Oh my gosh, it's almost like those are really common
I'm
these
just pressing
days.
buttons, by the way.
I have noticed this attempt is not going well.
I'm just gonna reset. I found that the industries where you're supposed to be dealing with professionals are less professional than you would expect.
Professional is a very widely used and variably defined term.
Yeah.
Because you could say, oh yes, this person is a young professional because they work as a doctor or they work as a lawyer. And it's like, well, this person is a professional gamer. Not that I am knocking professional gamers, because you can make a lot of money doing that. But you're certainly not a, quote, young professional in the traditional sense.
I really love it when they say, when they're like, oh, like 45 years combined experience. It's like, that's such a bullshit fucking response.
I know. Combined experience. What does that even mean?
Because you and I have a combined 10 years of production experience. Right? It's not untrue.
I know, but it's just so weird because you could push that out to like the really extremes, and I'm just trying to do like a rough number in my head, and at my company you're talking like potentially 3,000 or 4,000 years of experience.
Right.
Right? That's just absurd when you put it in those terms.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, because they do that on Mythbusters. I've noticed that.
Yeah.
Because they have like a combined 40 years of experience in the industry.
Yeah.
Now, the difference between your example and theirs is if you and I had done different shows for 5 years each, that's a little closer to 10 years of experience, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if, you know, we did that 5 years together, so clearly we don't get double credit for that.
Yeah, we do.
No, not in any sort of accreditation board's mind.
Accreditation boards?
Yeah, you know, the YouTube production company's accreditation board. Right? Where we get our license to operate on YouTube.
The best you can hope for on YouTube is being referred to as internet famous.
Oh my gosh.
Which is so funny.
The new term.
Like, Jimmy Kimmel is fucking sweating in his unreasonably well-hemmed pants. Because there are 15-year-olds getting more views per video than he does per night on a high-budget production, to the point where they're paying people just to come watch the show.
Really? Oh man, I was really hoping that was something I hadn't heard about.
Made that shit up, but I mean, they've manipulated the gaming community just to stay relevant.
Huh?
Yeah.
How so?
He did a monologue about Let's Playing, and just made fun of it in the most normal possible, like the most normie way you could expect. You know, the jokes that you'd expect anyone to make about it. It's like going to a restaurant and paying someone to eat or to watch them eat your food or something like that. And it's like, yeah, that's exactly what it's like.
Which is like, you're kind of an idiot if that's your perspective, because going and watching somebody else play sports is identical to watching someone else play video games,
Right.
is it not?
Right.
Right, and even when you think about the perspective that when you go to watch sports, you want your home stream because you want to hear the commentary from the people you like.
Right.
Right, it's like the exact same thing, but yet those people who, you know, Jimmy Kimmel, I'm sure watches the Super Bowl every year, but would never make that comparison.
Yeah.
It's okay, he's not the most full of it, of the late night guys.
No. But then he had 2 Let's Players on a week later, and then they explained it and all the bullshit. And it was like, this is like, he did that on purpose. He did it to get people to watch him, because he's not getting the 15 million views that Markiplier gets.
Well, and he's also not getting, he doesn't have the production value because they're not in a full studio with a full studio audience anymore.
Oh no, I was talking, this happened years ago.
Oh, I see. Because it's gotten way worse. Right, just now with all these people doing, you know, empty studios or doing it out of their homes, they all of a sudden don't have a leg up like they used to.
I have seen that. It's pretty funny to watch. I fucking hate this fight. Can I say that?
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is possible at the rate we're going.
No,
Either
we're
way, we'll get it.
Progress, not perfection, brother.
Yes, that's what it's all about.
Like, none of his moves are properly telegraphed. It's very frustrating.
It seems like one of those fights you have to take.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, I don't understand
Just
how.
don't approach him, and also don't run away from him. Make sure you're in the air, but definitely have solid footing.
Yeah, how are you supposed to avoid those types of attacks?
And there's no health getting, and that just didn't do damage this time, but it will next time. It's frustrating. And how do I know the difference between him floating in the air and him just getting to the thing? Oh, that. Cool, because he threw. Okay, so that's telegraphed. Okay.
The fire knives.
That's fair. That's
Them fire knives.
That's my fault.
Okay.
And I can jump after I hit that, so maybe that'll help.
Next time we will defeat the devil. Pause.